So this is interesting about how they spy on us, and we all know that, Facebook and Google and YouTube, they record everything and scan everything. But YouTube has said for a long time, when they started this new AI, when they loosed this new algorithm that demonetized all of the Christians and anybody who, talks about conservatism or politics or anything. So these guys here, I'll put the links below, they cracked the code. They found it in the metadata. YouTube was absolutely, they are scanning, they are listening in on every single video. So it can be nothing in your description box and nothing typed in your title line or anything like that. They listen to every word that you say in every single video that you post, and then they run the images and the pictures in your video, even images of yourself, through their Google image search, and they literally check everything. So these guys found the code. So they would say, like, for curse words, it's like a 102, like right here. This would be like for cursing, so that would be a 102. And then, like, say the F word, that would be a 1. So you'd have a 102, and then you'd have a 1. If you said it 3 times in a row, it'd be a 1, a 1, a 1, and then a different curse word has a different number. And so it's all coded. Your entire speech, your entire everything, all of your movements are all being scanned and numbered. They're actually coding you, coding everything you say. And excuse me, to show how they absolutely are using that to bury people in search engines and things like that. That religion is one of them, politics is one of them. So I mean, these are constitutional rights to freedom of speech, but they are completely willing to break the Constitution of the United States to censor. People found that they so closely checked every word, like these guys were checking for violence. And so they were watching MMA fights and then going into the metadata to find out, how it was coded while they were trying to crack this code. And they found that, like, one lady said in the video, Trump, and it wasn't even talking about Donald Trump, but something like, well, you see that size trumps, speed, or something like that, but just used the word Trump, and they coded the video for politics and unsuitable. So, that's what they're doing. They are forming, they say it's free to everybody can post and it's like a free speech, it's YouTube. But if you disagree with their narrative, this leftist narrative, then, they're scanning your videos to see every word you say, and they're using that against you, either to bury you or to put you at the top of the search engine, to socially engineer, to get people to think the same way they think. And if you don't, if you put up something that's like, well, I don't believe, that body dysmorphia is something to be celebrated. I think it's a mental illness. And if people are cutting off their body parts, because they think that they identify as something else and they have body dysmorphia, then they need treatment. If you say something like that, well, you might even get a community guidelines strike. You might even get the video completely taken down, but certainly you'll be coded and buried. But if you're like, oh, Bruce Jenner should get an ESPN award for courage, because he's cutting off his body parts, he's the most courageous person ever, then you're going to be right in everybody's face day and night, trending, trending, trending. And so anyway, these guys cracked the code on that, how they are spying on every single word. It's not just what they tell us. And even more sinister, that they make it so secret, because these guys cracked the code on this and they put it up. They showed you actually where to go in your metadata. They showed you the lines, they showed you the codes, and within 24 to 36 hours, the YouTube, Google caught it, that someone was onto them, and they went in and made it secret again, and they hid those metadata lines. So it's not that they aren't still spying on every word we say and trying to social engineer. It's that they are now doing it covertly, as if we don't already know. So plus we all know that they're not just voice, that have this voice technology where they're literally scanning our voices and our words constantly. And I'm not just talking about people who put Amazon Alexa in their house, or, Siri or whatever, leave that stuff on, where they're like, I want to be, I want these computer systems to record everything I say and do. I mean, I'm talking about people who are not willing, just because you have a phone in your possession, they think that they can listen into you in your home. And so, everybody knows, everybody's talking about, how do you unhook the microphone for Facebook? Because if I say something in my house, all of a sudden my Facebook feed is all these sponsored ads, of whatever keywords they heard me saying in my house. And then you have people, they're tracking IP addresses too. So if you don't even have your phone on you, but like you use a credit card that's linked to some account in a store somewhere, they track you that way, and they will link you to, if you're in a sporting goods store, other people that are in sporting goods store, and they will try and network you together.
Is your iPhone listening in on your personal conversations? That's what some people are reporting online. Strange coincidences in which what they were just talking about shows up on suggested searches or on their social media.
Your Android phones and iPhones are all listening to you. Everything that you say and do in your homes without your permission. Now, what you need to do is go to settings. Click on your settings there. This is for an Android phone, obviously.
We were just talking about babysitting, obviously, because we're going to be babysitting tonight. And then Joanna showed me this. The suggested page on Joanna's Facebook, fans of babysitting. How screwed up is that?
So a lot of people are pretty freaked out about this item from Facebook where they can listen in on your conversations, basically looking for buzzwords and things that you're saying. People want to know how they can disable the microphone on their phone.
And I did a video some time back where I was like talking about how these guys went to another country. They didn't even have their cell phone with them. This is what's really creepy about it. They didn't even have their cell phones with them. They met some people on a beach that they'd never even met before. And they went to some coffee shop. So I'm thinking at the coffee shop, somehow they were able to figure out that these two people knew each other, because they get back to their computer later that day and they would see that person pop up on their Facebook profile. They didn't have their cell phone on them. They didn't know the person. They never met the person before. They didn't know their name. And all of a sudden they see their face on Facebook. So the only thing that was connected was that they were at a coffee shop and they bought some coffee. So somehow they're also connecting you by where you're located without even your cell phone at, like I say, a coffee shop if you make a purchase. And I wouldn't doubt your PC is listening to you right now as well. So if YouTube might be even using that, I don't know. I know Facebook is. So Facebook could be using whatever you're speaking around your microphone in your house, on your computer, your cell phone, whatever. As you saw with Free Creepy CV there, he just put that video out today. So, and I was wondering about that Facebook. I was like trying to figure out how Facebook figured it out. I was thinking it had to be because of credit cards. So they must be following also transactions, not just things you say when you think your cell phone's on but not listening. So they listen to what you're saying when you're not talking into the phone, and it just happens to be on you and happens to be on. They're also watching where you go, probably through GPS, and they're also somehow monitoring your transactions as well. Credit card, they're somehow getting that data as well.
So now they're taking it to the next step. We all know that Apple has been getting us ready from day one. You go back to, like, here's their first ad. Yeah, they just accidentally picked 666 as the price of their very first Apple computer. I mean, come on, people. And then, yeah, they just accidentally, because they love apples, just used the universal symbol for the fall of mankind, when mankind was damned. That bite of the apple, they just picked that, they just picked 666, and everybody just is, oh, they love Apple. They can hardly wait for the new things. Well, here's the new thing, the iPhone X. And we all know X, whether it's triple X, meaning the lewd sex, or whether it's X, meaning the transition into Antichrist. Yeah, I get it's Roman numeral 10. We all get it. But, we also all get this, and we all get this. We get it. So now it's pay with your face. So this is the new technology they're moving us toward. a step closer to this mark of the beast system that, nothing is safe. They're always broadcasting this, oh, hack this, hack that, everything's hacked. So, you have to go to this next step. This is the only way that this is yours, is if your whole Internet of Things is attached to your face. And then pretty soon that'll be hacked. Someone will be using pictures of your face and, being able to hack your stuff, or some computer program like these new AIs that create all these faces. And then it'll have to be, a bio implant that's wired right into your DNA or whatever. So here's this Animoji. People will do anything for a toy. It's just crazy. I did that video a long time ago. It's old technology about the face-to-face technology, where once they can scan all the points on your face, just like this, then they can mimic you. They can make you in real time appear to be saying, they can make videos of you saying anything they want you to say, and it's not really you. So now they've got everybody looking into their phones, letting these AI computers scan their faces with all these points, just so they can pretend to be an animal. The Animoji. So it doesn't take much to dupe the masses. They're like, awesome, I'm going to be a unicorn. So that's awesome. Go ahead and scan my face and put it in your database. That's, it's just amazing that people can't think, they can't think beyond toys. They can't, nobody's going to have to force these people to take the mark of the beast. These people are going to be standing in line on Black Friday. They're going to be like, I cannot wait to have every single particle of my being scanned and tape recorded and videotaped. And I want them to know my heart rate, and I want them to know every single thing. I want them to know what I eat, and when I go to the bathroom, I want them to know what I say to my kids. I want, people love it. They can't get enough, because they're just, the dumbed down masses are just like, ooh, a new toy. Ooh, a new toy. And if you try and tell them, do you guys realize that this network is this massive Nazi communist control network, has completely spun a spider web around you where you can't do anything without them knowing? And they're like, oh, shut up, you tinfoil hat wearing maniac. Are you off your meds? So, whatever. As long as they can pretend to be a piece of poop, then, they'll take it. They'll love it. It's great. iPhone X. So any one of these puzzle pieces by themselves might not seem that important, but when you put that together, here we have Apple, this company who is bringing us down the road into oblivion. And they have now incorporated all of this face scanning technology, where everybody's willingly going to look right into their phone and get every movement and mannerism of their face scanned and fed into this system. And see, all of these pictures here in front of you, none of these are real people. None of these people exist. And you say, when we see these false flags and stuff, and people say, oh, how rude of you guys to say some of these victims might not exist. And I'm not saying that there were no victims in any of this. Don't take my words out of context. But what I'm saying is, it is not in the realm of impossibility to say that different profiles and different individuals can be computer generated. They can be computer generated photorealistically. These were all created by AI. These weren't created by artists and people sitting, trying so hard to do. No, these are all imaginary people that don't exist, that this artificial intelligence program just created their profiles. So now they exist. There's pictures to prove it. And you couple that with this real-time face-to-face technology. This is from a video I did a long time ago. Scary technology can mimic anyone. I'll put the link below. But anyway, you can see these are just young college kids showing how the technology works. And they're taking, like, this is the target where he's not saying anything. And yet, by linking these points on the face, like we just talked about, they're able to make him appear to be saying whatever they want him to say. So you need to be aware that these technologies are being used against us, not just for us, against us, scanning us, keeping track of us, controlling us, manipulating our emotions, all of that. You know, Mark Zuckerberg, here he's, and here's the scary part, he's talking about running for president. He's so his ego is so huge that at his age he's gonna run for president in 2020, and he's such a control freak that he experiments on humans. He says flat out that they run these, you have to sign it in your fine print, you know, to use Facebook. Not only can they listen into you in your home so that they can, you know, find these keywords and sell all your stuff to marketing companies and then put it on your Facebook to manipulate you, but they've also done AI experiments on you. They have, this is open stuff. This isn't like conspiracy theory. This is the stuff they've talked about, that they purposely try to addict you. The other people who have worked on his team, you can just Google the interviews. You can hear it right out of their own mouth. It's not supposition. They say that they sat at these round tables and brainstormed ways to addict people, to psychologically control them, to give them that shot of dopamine, you know, to get the next like, to get the, you know, so they, just like Farmville or whatever, they got you addicted on purpose. It wasn't like, oh, people did it because it was fun. They sat down like Nazi scientists and brainstormed ways to addict you so that they could keep you under their control. And then they did experiments on you. This is all in their own interviews, how they would load up people's home feeds with you know, whether it would be depressing stuff in their news feeds or happy stuff, and see if they could control, you know, their surfing, control their mood, control, you know. So here's the guy who wants to be president, who thinks it's okay to listen into you on your own home and scan everything. And then if you try to post something, then they want to censor that so that their candidates, their people, you know, get all of the good coverage, and they can bury any of this sinister stuff to where nobody can hear about it. So this is the guy, he wants to be president, right? A guy who thinks that it is his job in life to psychologically control you and manipulate you and experiment on you. And this is an interesting little clip.
We're not going to yell at him.
No, of course not. That is a warm hoodie.
Yeah, no, it's a thick hoodie. It's a company hoodie. We print our mission on the inside.
What?
Oh, really?
God, the inside of the hoodie, everybody.
Take a moment. What is it? Making the
world more open and connected.
Oh my God, it's like a secret cult.
See the pentagram or
Look
the
at that,
star?
making the world open and connected. Stream graph platform, and this weird symbol in the middle that is probably for the Illuminati.
So they're mocking and making fun, but the bottom line is, you know, this is a guy who thinks he has to have secret sigils inside the jackets, his company jackets, something that is, you know, not a logo on the lapel or something, you know, no, something that's secret and hidden, that has this circle and star in it that is so occultic. It's just, you know, next president of the United States, right? So all I'm saying is all of these technologies that everybody is just hungering and thirsting for, people, we need to wake up at some point. And like I've said before, I don't think humanity is going to wake up. I think that they would follow these people to hell because they cannot lay down their cell phones.